Hello, everybody. I'm back. Sorry, I was fighting the cold, and then we had a lot of stuff going on with work, and I'm back. So, I have awesome news. So, number one, as you guys know, I was helping out in designing. Being a designer for Blue Knight rubber stamps and making cards and kind of presenting them and what you can do with the versatility of the cards. I love their stamps. But number two, as you guys also know, I guest design on the Mod Squad Challenge blog, which is once a month, and I am the guest designer for Kitchen Sink Stamps. Well, Kitchen Sink Stamps reached out to me, and I have now officially joined their design team. So you'll be seeing more Kitchen Sink Stamps from me, which I feel is like a dream. Pinch me. I have loved their stamps again for years, just like Blue Knight rubber stamps, and their layered stamps are just so beautiful. The quality is great. They're photopolymer, but they come out great. And I have several videos already on kitchen sink stamps, so I will link a playlist at the end for you guys. But Mother's Day is around the corner, guys. So I'm going to give you some beautiful floral cards to make for moms. So this one, I think I already did a video on this. If not, I'll have to do a video on it, but I think I did. So I just took some aged paper here, put this doily down, and inked it up with some distress ink. This came out of some kind of collage paper, and then this little piece of trim, and then this is the layered Mother's Cameo, which is perfectly sized to fit inside Tim Holtz Baroque frame. So what I did was stamped it out, put the frame over it, and then I put glossy accents over it, and I can't help but to touch it because to me it looks like a real brooch, right? So if I didn't do a video, I will do a video, but I'm pretty sure I did a video somewhere on this. I'll just have to link it for you guys, but this would be a great card for grandma, But I just wanted to show you guys that. So this is the multi-step Mother's Cameo stamp set from Kitchen Sink Stamps. But today I wanted to do something a little different. I was torn between the iris and the hibiscus. I use the iris all the time. This is the most elegant, beautiful floral stamp that I believe I have in my collection, and it's so easy to line up and do. I use it for birthday, for sympathy, for almost everything. I mean, it's such a versatile set. But today I thought I'd do something a little different and play around with the hibiscus stamp set. So dropped everything on the floor. Sorry. All right. So I have a regular piece of Neenah Solar White Classic Crest. Again, somebody did ask, is this the same as the Neenah that they sell in Walmart? It is not. You want to look for this paper. I think Amazon, some retailers carry it. It is called Neenah Solar White Classic Crest. Not the same as what's carried at Walmart. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down to card size. So the regular 8.5 and 11 by 11 piece of paper, we're going to cut it down first of all to 5.5. Okay, so 1/2 of this you can use as your card base. Okay, the other half I'm going to cut down to become our card panel. So I'm going to cut it down to 5.25 by 4. So first we're going to cut it by 4, and then a little smidgen off the end by 5.25. Okay, so that leaves us with a little bit of an extra piece that we can use for another card or if we mess up. What I'm going to do here is, again, fold this in half or score it. So we have our card base here. Where's my bone folder? I'll just use it. So that's ready to go. I'm going to put that aside. We have this 5.25 by 4 panel. We have the 3-step hibiscus. So what I'm going to do here is take the 3 layers of the flower, and I'm essentially going to make my own pattern paper. And they are numbered, so they show you not only the number 1, 2, and 3 for each flower, they are also marked. There's a little swoop which shows you the angle of where to line your flowers up. So what I have done is put a little tick mark with a permanent marker on mine. So we're going to do number 1. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Now, if your stamps are ever out of order and you don't know what is which stamp, let me see if I can demonstrate. Actually, it's probably easier if I ink them up. I'll stamp them out so you can see. And the only reason I bring this up is because I just noticed that my stamps are in the wrong order on the sheet. Usually the way layered stamps work is that the most detailed layer is going to be the top layer, so it has the least amount of surface area for stamping. And the one that has the most amount of surface area is going to be your most solid stamp. So number 1 is normally your most solid stamp. That's going to be your outline layer. Number 2 is going to be a little bit more coverage, and the number 3 is going to be more detail in the stamp. And I can tell you right now, I'm glad I stamped those out because I do not like my number 1 color choice. So let me change that out real quick. That's a little better. 1. Okay, yes, I like those better. All right, we're going to switch it up here. All right, so I have my most solid stamp is number 1. Second is number 2, and then we're going to use this other one as number 3. Okay. All right, now that I've made a mess of my stamp pad. Okay, so I just want to make a pattern all over. So I'm going to start with number 1. And I'm going to start from the left side of the paper. And as I stamp, there is a little mark here on my stamp that I've colored in. I'm going to slowly rotate my stamp to the right, but that way I know when I start with the stamp, I'm going to go this way and then kind of rotate it. And I am using Altenew Rouge for the first layer, which is a light pink. Hopefully that makes sense what I just did. Okay, so now we're going to go in with number 2, and we're going to use Altenew's Coral Berry for number 2. And just want to make sure I have my alignment correct here. I had this way. So once you figure out your alignment, then it's a lot easier to line everything back up. And when you are in doubt, that's where the guide comes in handy, because you can put your stamps back on the guide and realign them. just feel like that's not, I think I stamped it upside down the first time. Oh, I did stamp it upside down. Okay. Okay, now that I figured out my alignment, we can move on. Okay, so that is our second layer, which is, again, Altenew Coral Berry ink. And then for our third and final layer, which is the most detailed layer, this one is Lovely Lipstick by Stampin' Up. This is a little easier to line up because now we can see that center stem to the flower. And so that's what we're going to try to look down and see through the stamp. Kind of hard to do because my, there we go. This is where having a MISTI does come in handy, but I'm just looking through the center and lining that up. So now we have these beautiful hibiscus. I do want to stamp one more off the edge over here. All right, and then I want to do the same thing, but we're going to go in with the greens and do some leaves around the edges. And then the leaves are also a 3-step stamp. And for that, I have some Granny Apple Green and some Old Olive. So again, I'm just going to start with the bigger one. I do have a little mask here that I had created previously. So if you don't want all of that ink getting everywhere. If you can figure out how to line your mask up. There we go. We can do some of the leaves. I don't think we need to add a whole bunch of green here. I think we're pretty good. Okay, and that's layer number 1 of the leaf. Number 2, again, is a little more solid. I'm actually going to go in with the old olive for number 2. And we're going to stamp it off before we stamp it down, just because it is a darker color. Okay, so very easy to do that. And then the last layer is going to be the more detailed layer of the leaf. Which we're just going to do full-on old olive. And again, it just gives that leaf a little extra detail where it looks like this is a photograph. It doesn't look like you stamped it, which is what makes these layered stamps so much fun. Is, you know, they have this surprise element to them where somebody's like, is that a picture or is that a stamp? And they're not going to believe you stamped it. They're going to think you bought a piece of pattern paper, and you can say, no, I stamped that. It took me so many hours to stamp that for you, Mom. This is so much better than any Hallmark card. I made this. All right, so we have some nice bright pinks in there, some greens. Now, there is a center stamen part that I forgot to stamp out. I think that's what it's called, the stamen. I don't remember. Biology was a really long time ago for me. This is going to be dark enough for that. Let's see here. Yeah, that's not dark enough. Let's see. We need to find a really dark pink. Let's try this. A little purple to it. There we go. And one more, and I'm going to do it in that same color. This is, what is this? Berry Burst by Stampin' Up. It really just makes that flower pop. Okay, so now we are done with the background stamping of it. Let's get my inks out of the way here. Now, you can leave your background like that. That's really cool, actually. I'm very proud of myself on that one. But I think that we should make this really stand out and look cool for Mom. So let's take it up to the next level. And I have these My Favorite Things dies that I got last year and didn't get to use them. I did not get the matching stamp set. All right, get that glue off of there. However, on here, there's a little for my, or we can do this, a hug from me to you, but I think we'll just do the mom on the outside and then stamp the hug from me to you on the inside. So I kind of wanted to make this like in a little eclipse card. So all we're going to do is run this through our die cutting machine. So I'm centering that mom. And these letters are not too big, not too small. They're already spaced together. And I'm going to run that through my little Gemini Junior. Okay. And then from here, all we're going to do is puzzle piece it together, which is pretty simple to do. So this part, I want to leave laying flat on the card. Actually, this part, yeah, I'm going to stamp the inside. If you were going to stamp it on the outside, you would stamp it now, but I'm not going to stamp this. So I'm going to get my glue to work. I want to be around the edges there because we don't want any of that popping up. Now remember, we have a small border around this, so you do not want to go right to the edge with this. We cut it so that it would have a small white border there. All right, so we're going to let that dry. Okay, and then in the meantime, we are going to work on our letters. And I have some of this foam strips from Stampin' Up, which is super thin and the perfect width. It would probably be easier to do if I had tweezers. Now, if you guys are looking for graduation cards, I am the host for next week's Mod Squad Challenge. Also sponsored by Kitchen Sink Stamps. And there will be a graduation card tutorial going up next week for that. So keep an eye out for that. But Mother's Day is coming before graduation, so we need to take care of Mom. Because Mom always took care of us. Well, hopefully Mom always took care of us when we were younger. Okay, and then we need a little bit for the O. Okay, so we go back to our card, and we line up where the letters came from. That did not come from there, it came from over here. And that center piece we're just going to glue in. Oops, my O's a little crooked. That's all right. And then our last M. And we just have to stamp our sentiment inside, and we are done. So we make a nice floral card, making our own pattern paper with layered stamps. It's too late to move the O. I'm leaving it. Okay, so now we just need to stamp our sentiment in the inside. And of course, you know, a lot of us have Mother's Day stamps and sentiments and things like that. I don't have any in front of me, but I really like a hug from me to you, because you have Mom on the outside already. And I do like that bright, lovely lipstick. Super cute font and a beautiful stamp set. So there we go. There is a really easy eclipse card, Mother's Day card, that you can make using the multi-step hibiscus, 3-step hibiscus stamps from Kitchen Sink Stamps. And of course, if you guys have any questions, post them down below. There you can see the dimension in there. And again, I will link the other videos I've done with kitchen sink stamps, so you guys will see me using a little more of them. And then head on over next week to Mod Squad Challenge, so you can join the challenge there. And you can see the graduation card I made for that. And thanks for watching, guys, and keep on stamping. Bye-bye.